Hello friends, check this out. A fully restored Hoover Turbomaster Softbag. Wow. Now, as you guys know, this particular machine came in with my big haul of 8 cleaners that I managed to pick up from Cornwall and Bristol and then brought back here to South Wales. Now this machine, it was in reasonable condition, I would say. By no means perfect, and it's taken quite a lot of work to actually bring it up to this standard. The most interesting thing I did was using my new retrowriting technique on the hood. As you can see here, the hood is now a really nice, lovely bright blue colour. It's all very nicely turned out actually. I'm really surprised at how well that worked. It's a couple of days soaking in the solution. But yeah, it's turned out really nice. I'm really pleased with it. So as I say, it was quite a long restoration process, and I did film some video of it. I did actually film all of it, but then I had a bit of a technology problem, shall we say, where I lost the final part of the restoration. So I'm going to hand you over now to myself in the workshop. I can't remember if there's another intro. I can't remember what I decided to do, whether I do this in like 2 separate parts or whatever, but you're going to have me waffling again now. But you'll see me doing the majority of the restoration on the Turbomaster. And then when you've watched that, come back here and I'll see you again. Hello friends. I thought today we would start to take a look at this Turbomaster Softbag that I got in recently. I've never actually turned it on. I wonder what it sounds like. Let's find out. I've got a plan for this. It's actually going to be a present for someone. It needs a lot of work. I'm not going to lie to you. It's in a bit of a mess, but it will be very interesting to see what it sounds like. I'm guessing it's not going to sound great, but I think we should probably find out. Let me just get the cable off. It's really dirty actually. Even the cable's got like some kind of muck on it. It's not very pleasant. God, that's quite hard. Okay, so let's plug it in and we'll see what happens here. This could be quite noisy actually. Let's find out. Okay, not as bad as I thought it was going to be. We've got no action on the light, so we definitely need a new bulb in there. The motor didn't sound too bad, but that will fix up relatively quickly and easily. No action on the brush roll, so either the belt is completely gone, or there's a problem with the push-push mechanism here, which guides the belt back and forth from the idler pulley. But what we need to do is take it apart and have a really good look inside. Now, I'm just going to bring you a bit closer so you can see the fading that's happened to this hood. I'm just going to give this a quick clean off because it'll be easier to see it if we get rid of all this muck. It's very dirty. I don't think this has been particularly well looked after. But then it's an old Hoover, isn't it? So who's going to look after this? Nobody would know it's of any value. There we go. There's whiteness. Oh, goodness me, it is really bad. Very mucky. So you can see here on this tool converter unit that this is the blue it should be, and it's gone this really horrible, mucky, faded kind of colour here. It's not very pleasant at all. Interestingly, it's still quite blue down here in this channel where the height selector knob is. The knob itself has gone off. That's the last thing you want, isn't it? A knob that's gone off. But the plastic underneath is still relatively reasonable. Unusual, isn't it? I don't know why that happens. It's very strange. But yeah. Now, obviously, seeing as I've come up with this new retro brighting technique. This is definitely one that needs to go in the tank with some Astonish powder. So I think the first thing we should do is start taking this apart. Unfortunately, the air freshener selector is missing, which is a real shame. There should be something here, like a little slider. Maybe it's on this point here, the slider's down here. I can't quite recall. But that's gone walkies on this one, and probably fell out. But never mind. And also I need to make up my mind what to do about this rear trunnion here. As I've said previously, the machine I've got, this is actually black on my one. So the result may be that I keep this one if I can retrobrite this hood to a decent result, and then my other one becomes the gift that I'm going to give away. But the first thing we need to do is to take this machine apart, so let's crack on with that. Our first job is to whip the base plate off. Nice and easy on these. Oh, is there even a screw in there? Oh, there's no screw in there. Should be 3 screws. I'm very surprised at the condition underneath here, actually, and the brush roll itself. It looks amazing. There's loads of life left on this brush roll. The base plate, or the nozzle plate, is incredibly good. It's very, very strange to see them like that. So let's pop this off. Okay, we seem to be missing the tooth belt. Let me just bring you around here so you can see. You see a bit better. So there should be a tooth belt that runs here to this drive pulley. You can see that the flat belt is currently on the idler pulley. So we're missing one of those. We're going to need to get a belt for it. Now that is, I think, that may be quite worn. Although it's been a while since I've seen one, so I can't really remember. We need to get a belt on there and see how it behaves. And the next thing to do is to get the hood off. So there's a couple of screws here. And a couple of screws hidden at the back here to do these manually. These are really long screws at the back. So let's undo those. I'm going to flip the machine back over and then we'll take the hood off. With everything undone underneath, we now should be able to put the handle down and just remove the hood. You've got to be very careful because the height selector is always attached on this, and there we go, we can remove it. Still quite blue underneath. See, again, it's very strange, isn't it, how the plastic fades like this. You can see it's very faded there, but underneath still quite a nice blue. Very odd. So we need to take this apart a bit more, but we'll come back to that in a minute. Just have a look and see what we've got. So yeah, pretty standard fare really here. You've seen me work on these motors in the past, so not much else to sort of talk about here. We can whip this out relatively easily, give it a service, clean off the cooling fan, because it's always the cooling fan that gets covered in dirt. And I think once the motor's serviced, we'll just pop a bulb in, various bits of plastic hanging around. That might be off the push-push mechanism actually. I think it probably is. It ran on this little bar here. But this all seems to be working. It's a little bit stiff, but yeah, it works. So that's good. So I'm not going to film the servicing of the motor, but I think we do need to take this outer dust bag off, because this is going to have to be washed. So we'll do that in a minute. I just want to return to the hood a second. Now, I thought it'd be interesting just to see what year this was made. This is a March 1988 machine. So I think they first came onto the market in '87, if memory serves. So it's not a really early one, which is a shame, but never mind. But we need to remove this lamp lens, because this is not something that I really want to be putting in the Astonish solution, because it may affect this really rather badly. So we need to take this off. Now, to be honest with you guys, I don't think I've ever done this. So this is breaking new ground for me. I think there's like a little tab here which you push out, or is it? Kind of hard to see how they've manufactured this. Do you take this black bit out first? I don't want to break it. Oh yeah, I think you do. You've got some baffling here for the cooling. Does that come out like that? Oh, I've broken it already. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that pops out like that. Just remember to put it back together. Oh goodness me, how do you do this? Because there's a couple of tabs here, and then you've got these tabs go through into the hood, and there's a couple more tabs here. See, this is just gonna break, isn't it? This is just like, this just wants to break. So I think I may just have to be brave and just give it a go. Ooh, flipping heck. Do you push these back? Surely you can't push that back. It's kind of like, I think you need to go from one end. And just very, oh yeah, there we go. Just very gingerly undo these tabs, and then it should, he says, pop out. When I push that, I don't want to break the hood. That's the trouble. Very difficult. Very difficult. There we go. So your product with your screwdriver, it just pops out. So that's cool. Then you're left with all the component parts. So here's the selector knob, which interfaces here, like so. I think it's that way around, possibly, something like that. And then that lets the light shine through on the particular carpet selection number that you've got. So it just kind of basically just sort of runs back and forth, like so. A bit like that. Cheap, but effective. So this little selector and this hood need to go into our bath of Astonish powder, and then I'm hoping that it will restore this hood back to its original colour. That would be nice if it does, and we'll see. We'll see if it does or not. But I'll go and do that in a minute, and then leave it soak for a few days. But first we need to take that cloth bag off. Now this is going to be interesting, because I don't think I've ever actually removed... No, I'm lying to you, I have removed one of these before, because I hand washed my one. It's a bit of a faff, if memory serves. So let's get rid of the paper bag, and then we can see what we're left with here. So we've got this cage, it's like a cage that sort of runs around here. Now see, this is really interesting because, let me get myself in the view. Hi. This is like the budget machine in the Turbomaster range. But if you think about it, this would have cost as much or even more to make than it would have cost them to make the basic blue hardbag Turbomaster. So you kind of wonder to yourself, why did they bother? Why did they bother to make a softbag machine when there's no economic reason to do so? Because this is the only cleaner in the Turbomaster range that used this style of handle. This is the only one. So they had to go to the cost, the expense of making all of this stuff for one model, whereas the molds for the back body of the hardbag machine was used originally on two cleaners, the non-electronic blue hardbag and the beige electronic hardbag. So two cleaners used those. And then they used pretty much the same moulding for the tools attached versions. So that moulding could chuck out all of those back bodies for those cleaners, and they were all the same, but only the softbag had all this extra moulding on it for one machine that was the budget machine, which sold for less money than the other cleaners, and would have sold in lower numbers, hence why TM Softbag is quite a rare machine now. It just doesn't make sense. But anyway, let's get this off, and I think it's just, I think he says, put the screws here, and then a couple of screws down here. Oops. Okay, they're quite big screws. Let's get rid of those, and then we should. What happens up here? I can't remember. Does it appear to be attached, or is it? I can't really see. It's annoying. Does it pull away like that? Oh, I tell you what, it might be attached. There's a screw that goes through the handle back here. Ah, yeah, there we go. That's got it. Yeah, there's a screw back here. See, and also this machine has a lot of unusual screws as well. You would rarely find these screws on any other Turbomaster. So this machine uses these special screws as well. Now, hopefully, I can start removing all of this stuff that's holding the bag in place. So look at this mechanism to keep the bag rigid. So you've got this rotating piece of blue plastic here for the top, a massive great spring inside to give it tension, and then the ability to move up and down on rails. It's just so over the top. So over the top. Surely there must have been an easier way of doing it than this. This is mad. It's madness. I'm going to put that on the pile over there. And now we can take the base off. Yeah, see, unfortunately it's missing the selector for the air freshener. The air freshener disc is still in it. You can see it there. It's that funny colour thing. And there's still some scent on that, would you believe? All of these years later, all of these years, that still has a scent to it. I don't even know how you change that. How would you? There must be some kind of. Oh, I see. It rotates and slides out. Oh, there we go. Oh God, that's ridiculous. Oh yeah, genuine Hoover as well. There you go. There's your genuine Hoover air freshener from 1988. I'll put that back in. Oh, okay. There's the mechanism that controls the amount of scent that comes through. Hang on, does it go like that? Does it go that way? Yeah, there you go. So it opens and closes, and there would have been a lever to control that. If I do it on that side, you can see that see how they open and close to let the scent through. Oh, jeez. Ugh, waste of time. But it was a feature. It was the 80s, you know. People wanted air fresheners. Weird. Let's pop that on the pile. And now we should be able to remove our cloth bag. There we go. There it is. So that is the Turbomaster Softbag's soft bag. Now I need to go and wash this. You see it's very, very dirty in places. It's interesting to see this bare. This is what it looks like. I don't know how many of you guys would have seen these like this, and you can take off this bottom section as well, so that can go on the pile. There's like the two clams, the two halves of the base that hold the bag. But yeah, all this extra moulding, all these extra bits of plastic for just one machine. Very silly. And here's the trunnion. Now if I bring you down a little bit, you see the trunnion a bit better, where the bellows goes up the back there. And you can see that this was almost destined to fail, really, wasn't it? Because it's not the strongest piece of plastic in the world, and it's got this really large, rather large chassis to contend with. So yeah, that was always going to break. God. Now, interestingly, if you'll be able to see it, I think the cable runs inside the handle, and it comes out here. And you've got the cable that comes out here, but you can remove this section of the handle. If I can do it, you can't see what I'm doing. Sorry. Let me bring it up a bit. You can remove this section of the handle. It's very slowly coming. I don't know if it'll let me do it. Probably not, actually. I have no idea how these were shipped. I suspect they were shipped fully assembled because I can't actually pull that out. I'm going to have to disconnect this piece of cable down here which runs through to the motor. And the reason I'm saying this is because this top handle section is really faded as well. It's very difficult to show you, but you can see there, I can hold it like this. This has gone all green, whereas the parts that were covered up by the bag are still nice and blue. So we need to do some retrobricing to this top handle section as well. And this is going to be interesting because I need to remove this sticker. I don't know what's the best way to do that, and then obviously put it back on as well. So that's going to be an interesting challenge. So I think what I'll do, let's bring you back round so you can see me. Hello, hi. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the hood. Where's the hood? Here it is. The hood and the height control knob, and I'm going to clean these and put them in the RetroBrite bath for a few days, and hopefully we'll get some sun. It's not looking very hopeful right now, and these will be restored to their original colour, which would be really nice. And then I need to try and think about doing it for the handle section too. And whilst all that's going on, I'm going to service the motor. So I'll see you guys back here in a few days with the results of all of this, and that also gives me some time to find a toothed belt for the brush roll as well. So I'll see you guys very shortly. The bag is back from being washed. It's come out quite nicely actually. It's certainly a lot cleaner than it previously was. However, and there's always this happens all the time, the logo has taken a bit of a battering. This always happens with these bags. No matter how careful I seem to be with these, the logo always seems to start to come off. And I hand washed this. I was really careful, didn't use particularly hot water, but as usual, the flipping logo starts to come off. So annoying. So we need to get this bag back on, and we'll see what it looks like. So let's unzip. There we go. It's really nice and clean inside. There we go. I'll show you there. Looking really good. And we need to get it back on. You'll notice I've taken the handle off because that's currently being retrobrited along with the hood. So they will hopefully be done shortly, and I will be able to complete putting the machine back together. We just need to pop this bottom section on first, like so, and now I need to try and remember how to do this. It was only yesterday that I did it, but my poor old brain. We pop it on like so. That should be about right. And then we take this section. Actually, it'd be easier to put this section in the bag first, actually. That's a good idea. Let's pop this in first. It's been a while since I've done one of these, I must admit. How does that go? Quite a snug fit. Come on. Is that right? Have I got it in the right place? I think I have. I should be able to fit this into the bottom section now. Make sure it goes in snugly. Is that in right? Yeah, I think that's in right. And now I should be able to. Can I get that up? Come on, don't pull out. Don't pull out. Stop it. Yeah, so that goes like that. That looks about right. And now I think we put the cage in. This is going to be interesting, isn't it? Trying to get all this in at the same time. Get the cage. So this has to go in like that. So slide in like that. It goes like that. So that should be right. And we'll be able to pull that section of the bag up over the top. So now we need a couple of screws. I think it's these two. I'm just going to put these in lightly for now, just to hold everything in place. I'm not going to do them up all the way. That should be held in place. Oh, goodness me, this is really difficult. Can push that down. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that looks right. Do the holes line up with the bag at the back? Probably not. If I pull it, can I get it over the top of this mechanism? Oh, these are so awkward. Is that right? It's all, now, yeah, it's kind of there. It's almost as if it's not up far enough. I pull it. Ah, okay, that might be better. I still can't see the holes. I might have to try and line these up actually beforehand. Very difficult. I can kind of feel it there. Can I push it through though? That's the question. Oh yeah, there we go. That's one. That's one through. That should hold the screw in place. If I try and do the other one without losing that screw, there's the hole. God, what a faff this is. Where is it? Ooh, ooh. No, I almost had it then. Can I see it? Come on, go through. There's only a hole in a flipping bit of cloth. It's ridiculous. Oh, man. It'd be easier if I can see it. Can I see it there? Can I get up at the chair? I don't want to pull too hard, that's the thing, because it'll all come off. Christ, that crotch. Hey, there we go, got it. Okay, so that's all lined up. I should be able to get this back on now. Oh, what a pain. God. You just wouldn't believe how awkward that is. I'm going to try and get these in the right place now. No. Wow, okay. One. Oh, don't come out, don't come out, don't come out. Oh, there we go. Whew, okay, that is back in. My God, what a pain that is. What a massive, massive pain. Okay, let's do that up. Well, hopefully we can get all this back in. And the zip will do up. Where's the zip end? Other side, of course. Oh, no, the zip's stuck. Come on. Oh, for the love of God. What an utter pain in the arse. This is really, really difficult. Maybe you can sit and bring you down. The zip is stuck here, look. You've got to be really careful. Oh. That should be better. Yeah, there we are. Good. Can we do it up? That's the question. Right. Whew. Oh, God, sweating now after doing that. It's ridiculous. There we go. There's the bag back on place. Back on place? Back in place, rather. There we are. Oh, you've got a bit cockeyed now. There we are. Yeah, so, yeah, bag's back on. That's good. Shame about this logo, but, you know, you can't have everything, I suppose. But it's certainly a lot cleaner, and it smells a lot nicer than it previously did. So this is good. This is looking promising. Now what we need to do is get the hood back. You'll see that there's no hood currently on the machine because that's being retrobrighted using the new procedure that I found with the astonished powder. So when that's back, we'll pop it on and we'll see the results. So now you've watched the process, well, pretty much all of the process. Sorry about missing the last bit off. You can see the journey that I've gone through to restore this Turbomaster Softbag. As I say, I'm really, really pleased with how it's come out. It looks fantastic, it really does. I even did some retrobrighting on the handle because it had gone a bit of a funny colour. The only downside of it is, I might be able to show you here, but there should be a little sticker just there on the top of the handle which says Hoover Turbomaster, just in case you forgot what you had, even though it says it here. But yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't save that. I took it off to do the retrobrighting, and I think how I did it was not particularly great. I used the heat gun on the low setting, and it was a bit too hot. I might have a go at trying to resuscitate that sticker, but I don't think it'll work. No, I'm pretty sure it won't, but hey, worth a try. So now, really, we need to go and use this. So this would be the first time that this cleaner has been used properly. I did kind of run it a bit just to make sure it was basically running correctly and sounded okay. But yeah, this will be the first proper use of it on some carpet, so that's going to be interesting. It does need a few little bits of extra cleaning done to it. There's a few scuff marks and stuff on the hood. But do you know what? For a machine that is, how old is this one again? 1988, March of 88. What's that? 33 years old? It's 33 years old. A Turbomaster Softbag that's 33 years old and still working. It's incredible. These were never ever built to last any amount of time. There was never any intention that they would do 30 years. God, there was barely any intention they'd do 5 years. So it is a minor miracle, really, that this has survived. But it does just show you what you can do, what you can achieve if you put the effort into it. And as I say, this was quite a lot of effort. I do have a plan for this cleaner, but I can't tell you what it is on this video. In 6 months' time, I might be able to, but I can't just yet, so you're going to have to wait. So what we'll do now is go into the lounge and we will see this machine in use for the very first time. I hope the push-push mechanism works. These can be really, really tricky. But I will stop waffling now. I will say thank you ever so much for watching this video. Don't forget to do the usual, commenting, subscribing and liking. Always love hearing from you guys. And I'll see you in the next video. You take care. Bye. Well, guys, you just wouldn't believe this. I mean, you wouldn't believe it if you tried. The machine has just eaten its second fan. No, it's there. It destroyed the original fan that I put in, so I replaced it with another fan, and it's just destroyed that fan, and the push mechanism isn't working properly. I genuinely can't believe it. Yeah, so there we go. Unbelievable. All that work, all that incredible work, and it is just absolutely dead. This machine, I swear to God, is rare to see this, but this cleaner absolutely does not want to live. And it's actually quite hot now too. I'm really surprised at how warm that is. So yeah, this is a complete and total failure. Yeah, I think we will call this one a bin job. This cleaner is going to be stripped for parts. I'll take out everything that is useful on it. This hood is actually in better condition than the hood on my current Softbag machine. So I'll probably swap those over, and then yeah, the rest will be scrapped because it's one of those cleaners that does not want to live. It does not want to live. I have never, ever in all my days of working on cleaners generally, certainly Turbo Powers and Turbomasters, I have never seen a machine eat 2 fans. The first time I thought, okay, yeah, perhaps that was my fault because I still had the bag in it and I turned it upside down, so maybe something had fallen down through the bag throat back into the fan chamber and jammed the fan. But it is impossible for that to have happened this time because this has got a brand new paper bag in it. And I cannot afford to let it destroy any more Turbo Power fans. They are becoming quite hard to find now, and I absolutely do not want to go through any more. It may be that there's a spacer missing from behind the fan and it's fouling the end of the motor case. That's entirely possible. So it's like too tight and it's basically stripping the threads out. But yeah, this is end of days. End of days for this cleaner. I'm done. I spent hours on this and it's still not finished. So yeah, everybody say goodbye, Turbomaster Softbag. Goodbye. You will be very useful for parts. And now I'm going to go and cry. Take care, guys. Bye.